Scorpio, something or someone has been tampering with your inner calm and the way money moves around you, and for many of you that interference is tied to a person whose name begins with the letter D. You did not arrive here by mistake. Out of all the things you could be watching right now, your spirit guided you into this moment because on a deeper level you already feel that something is off. Around November 29th and 30th, you step into a concentrated energetic window where what has been hidden, blurred, or politely ignored starts pushing to the surface. Maybe you've noticed it already, a strange heaviness after certain conversations, a quiet anxiety when you think about your bank account, a sudden fog around decisions that used to feel simple. You are not imagining it, you are perceiving it. Your intuition has been lighting up, and this message is not here to scare you, but to confirm what your body and soul have been trying to tell you. There is a vibration in your field that does not belong to you, and it is time to see it clearly so it can no longer steal your peace or delay your prosperity. This warning is not about drama, revenge, or blame. It is about reclamation. It is about you taking your mind, your emotional space, and your money energy back into your own hands with grace and with certainty. You, Scorpio, were born with a radar that runs deeper than words. You feel the room before anyone speaks. You sense when somebody's smile is a mask and when "I'm just trying to help" is actually "I'm trying to keep you small." The problem is not that you cannot sense the truth. The problem is that you have been taught to doubt your own radar, especially when the person in question is someone you know, someone close, someone whose name carries history, responsibility, or affection. The person whose name begins with D may not be an obvious villain. They might be a partner, an ex, a supervisor, a parent, a sibling, a friend, even someone who holds power over your work, your finances, your home, or your emotional safety. On the surface, they might appear supportive, concerned, even protective. Yet after you talk to them, you walk away feeling smaller, more confused, slightly ashamed of your own desires, or weirdly guilty for wanting more. You second-guess your plans. You delay your moves. You find yourself apologizing for things that are not actually wrong. That is the interference. That is the subtle way your prosperity gets slowed down, not because the universe is against you, but because your energy keeps getting tangled with someone whose voice has become louder in your head than your own. Energetically, the days around November 29th and 30th function like a spotlight. Astrologically, this kind of window often comes with tension between what is seen and what is hidden, between your conscious self and the forces that run beneath the surface. Think of it like the sky holding up a mirror and saying, "Look again." It can arrive as a transit that forces honest conversations, emotional confrontations, or sudden clarity about money patterns. For you, as a Scorpio, this kind of energy rarely stays on the surface. It digs, it excavates, it pulls up the roots of why you keep giving certain people more access to your mind and your wallet than they have earned. During this period, you may feel more sensitive than usual, more easily irritated, or suddenly exhausted after you've been around certain energies. You might notice glitches around payments, delays with transfers, sudden mistakes in numbers, or someone pressing you to agree quickly to something involving your time, your loyalty, or your finances. The point is not that you should live in paranoia. The point is that you are being invited to slow down just enough to ask yourself, does this actually feel right in my body, or am I pushing past my own discomfort so I don't upset someone whose approval I'm used to chasing? That question alone can save you money, time, and heartbreak. In the symbolic language of tarot, the energy around this situation often shows up as a mixture of the moon, justice, and the high priestess. The moon speaks to emotional fog, mixed messages, things that stir fear or insecurity without clear evidence. Justice speaks to balance, fairness, and the need to weigh actions and intentions on honest scales. The High Priestess is your inner knowing, the part of you that sees beneath the surface, and does not need external proof to recognize misalignment. The person whose name begins with D may trigger your moon, stirring confusion and self-doubt. They might speak in circles, use half-truths, or frame their concern in a way that makes you feel like you are unreasonable or reckless whenever you follow your own path. They might joke about your dreams, plant small seeds like, "Are you sure that's safe?" or "I'm only saying this because I care," that slowly choke your courage. Justice steps in to ask, not, "Are they a terrible person?" but, "Is this dynamic fair to me?" And the High Priestess puts a hand on your shoulder and whispers, "You already know." If you consistently feel tighter in your chest around them, if your plans shrink when they enter the room, if your money choices suddenly become more timid or more chaotic after they weigh in, that is data. Sensitive data, spiritual data, not to be ignored. Money manipulation is not always explicit. Sometimes it looks like someone insisting on helping you with finances so you never learn to trust your own decisions. Sometimes it shows up as emotional pressure, guilt-tripping you into lending, giving, partnering, or taking on responsibilities that drain your reserves. Sometimes it is subtle sabotage, a comment dropped right before an important call, an argument before an interview, discouraging words when you're about to take a step that could increase your abundance. When a D energy is disrupting your prosperity, you may notice repeated patterns. Every time you're close to a breakthrough, some drama involving this person pulls your attention, your time, or your emotional bandwidth away. You end up cleaning up their crises instead of building your own security. You stay stuck in the role of rescuer, peacemaker, or fixer, while your own projects sit unfinished in the corner. This is not because you are weak. It is because your loyalty and compassion are powerful. And until now, those qualities have been easier to access for others than for yourself. The upcoming window is your chance to reverse that flow. So what do you do with this awareness, Scorpio? First, you do not need to explode, confront, or burn bridges in a rush. The warning for November 29th and 30th is not start a war, it is wake up. Use these days as sacred observation time. Notice how you feel after every interaction, especially with anyone whose name includes D. Keep a quiet mental or written log. Did my body relax or tense? Did I walk away clearer or more confused? Did I feel supported or subtly judged? Also look at the material side. Are there any shared accounts, unspoken financial expectations, unpaid debts, or entanglements that give this person leverage they do not need to have over you? Awareness comes first, adjustments follow. You are allowed to renegotiate access to your time, your plans, and your money. You are allowed to say no, to delay a decision, to ask for things in writing, to sleep on an offer. You are allowed to protect your peace, even if it disappoints someone who benefits from your confusion. During this transit, simple spiritual practices can amplify your clarity. You might light a white candle and whisper, "Only what is aligned with my highest good may stay. Everything else must go in peace." You might write the letter D, or the full name if you know it, on a piece of paper and beneath it write, "I release your influence over my mind, my mood, and my money. I bless you, but I choose myself." You can keep it on your altar as a reminder of your boundary. Or when you feel ready, burn it safely and imagine the smoke carrying away old cords. Work with colors that support protection and self-trust. Deep indigo or violet around your head to shield your thoughts. Emerald around your heart to heal fear and jealousy. Gold around your solar plexus to strengthen your confidence and decision-making. Ground yourself physically too. Drink more water than usual. Put your bare feet on the earth if you can. Eat something warm and nourishing when you feel anxious instead of doom-scrolling or replaying old conversations. These tiny acts signal to your nervous system, "I am safe to see the truth now, the truth." Emotionally, this may bring up grief. You might realize that you've ignored red flags because you didn't want to lose someone, or because walking away felt lonelier than putting up with subtle disrespect. You might see how many times you minimized your own discomfort, how often you laughed off comments that actually hurt. Let the sadness move through you. It is not a sign that you're making a mistake. It is a sign that you're finally telling yourself the truth without sugarcoating it for anyone else's comfort. You can honor the parts of the relationship that were real, even while admitting that the current dynamic is not healthy for your peace or prosperity. Forgiveness does not require you to keep the same level of access. Compassion does not require self-betrayal. You are allowed to outgrow people. You are allowed to outgrow versions of yourself that tolerated things out of fear. In practical terms, this might look much simpler than your mind expects. It could mean turning off your phone for a few hours so you're not available for every crisis message. It could mean rescheduling a meeting instead of forcing yourself to show up when your body is screaming for rest. It could mean quietly moving your savings into an account only you can access, or finally learning the details of your own finances instead of letting someone else handle everything because they're better with numbers. Small actions carry huge spiritual weight when they are taken from a place of self-respect. You do not need a perfect plan to start protecting your peace. You just need one clear decision that says, "My well-being matters." Maybe during this window, you choose to say no to a loan you cannot afford, or you choose not to share a new idea with someone who always tears it down. Maybe you decide to seek advice from someone neutral and wise instead of the same familiar voice that keeps you looping in doubt. Every time you choose clarity over confusion, slowness over pressure, listening over reacting, you rewrite the pattern that has kept you bound. These are the bricks that build your new foundation, one choice at a time. Spiritually, this moment is less about them and more about you learning to trust your own inner court. Your soul is both witness and judge here. When you stop handing other people the final say over your decisions, something miraculous begins to happen. Your path clears. Opportunities that used to pass you by start recognizing you. Money that once slipped through your fingers finds reasons to stay. Not because someone chose you, but because you finally chose you. The universe responds to alignment. When your words, your actions, and your boundaries match the truth in your heart, you stop leaking energy into situations that don't grow you. You become magnetic to what actually belongs in your life. This is what protecting your peace and prosperity really means. It's not about building a fortress of fear. It's about becoming so honest with yourself that anything misaligned naturally falls away. And as you listen to this, let there also be a gentle reminder. What you're receiving now is a symbolic map, not a rigid sentence. This message is a mirror more than a verdict, a story held up to your spirit, so you can feel into whether it reflects your experience. It is one possible timeline, a stream of intuitive images and spiritual language meant to stir your awareness, not to replace your free will or your own wisdom. It is not financial advice, psychological diagnosis, or a substitute for practical support from professionals in your life. Think of these words as a thought experiment for your soul, a way to explore what changes when you decide that your peace is non-negotiable and your prosperity is sacred. If something in this message resonates, if it makes your body exhale, if it puts words to a feeling you couldn't name, then keep those parts like small, glowing stones in your pocket. Walk with them. Let them strengthen you. If other parts do not fit, let them drift by like clouds on a windy day. Not every sentence is meant for every Scorpio at the same time, and that is perfectly okay. You remain the author of your own life. So now, Scorpio, as we near the end of this transmission, come back to your breath. Place your hand over your heart and another over your belly if you can. Inhale slowly through your nose, exhale through your mouth, and softly affirm, I choose clarity. I choose peace. I choose to protect my light and my future. Visualize the days around November 29th and 30th as a doorway made of pure light. On one side of the doorway is the version of you who doubts, who shrinks, who lets other people's fear shape your financial story. On the other side is the you who listens to your intuition the first time, who sets boundaries without apology, who allows money and ease to coexist with your spirituality. See yourself stepping through that doorway with calm, with grace, with a quiet inner smile. You don't need to announce it to anyone. Your energy will announce it for you. If this message has touched something true inside you, anchor it in the physical. Type in the comments, "I choose peace over pressure," or share the angel number that has been following you lately, 111, 444, 777, 888, as a way of saying to the universe, "I am listening." Like this video if it helped you feel seen, share it with another Scorpio who may need this confirmation, and subscribe to stay connected with this circle of light where your depth is not too much. It is the very reason you are here. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are simply standing at a turning point that your soul has been preparing for a very long time. And as you walk forward from this moment, remember, no one whose name begins with D or any other letter has the right to sit in the center of your life unless they respect your peace and your prosperity. That center belongs to you and to the love that created you. The rest is negotiable. Your freedom is not.